everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Elliandra and welcome to quite a chatty video today. I don't really have a plan for this video, so we will see how it goes, but I thought today I would do a video showing you guys how I create my Sims, because you guys have been asking for this and I get comments almost every day saying stuff like, I have all the CC that you have, but my Sims still end up looking nothing like yours. How do you do it? So I guess in this video I'll kind of just do a little create a sim, like just her face, etc., and try to make a very typical Elliandra sim, and then kind of show you guys along the way, give little tips or whatever. I mean, it is create a sim, it is like pushing and pulling, it's not rocket science, so I don't know how well I can actually tell you guys how I do things, but I will do my best. And also in the description I will be linking a few mods and CC items that I think are must-haves, and they will help you kind of get the look that I always go for my Sims. I think the first thing I'm going to point out is that I have the 4 columns mod, or it's actually called more columns mod. It is always linked in my descriptions, but I will link it again. So it makes this category here have 4 rows instead of the 2, because I have quite a big monitor and there's a lot of extra space here. So I feel like I could even have 1 more here. 5 columns, but I have 4, and I find this so useful considering how much CC I have. Like, there's already so much, and if this was 2 rows, this would take so much longer. So this is an amazing mod. It does bug out a little bit sometimes, like the items will kind of hide on the side, you have to play around with it, but I still totally recommend it. So that is the first thing that I always use in a create a sim. Next up is my CAS background. I've been using this one for the longest time. It's actually like a really light pink. It's not white. I don't like to use white because like then you can't like see white stuff. I don't know. If I give it like white shoes, they will blend into the background. So I'm using a light pink one. This is also linked in my descriptions every single time, but I will be linking it again. It makes it a lot easier to cut out your sim for like thumbnails, etc. So I definitely recommend having a custom CC background. I guess the first thing I do whenever I create a sim, I take off her clothes, which I've already done, but it's just, you can actually see like her body, etc. Like if she has like a baggy hoodie on or something, you can't really see what your sim is looking like. So I just take off all their clothes and their hair, and then I just go for a body type. I think for me, like my most typical sim would be like maybe like a tanned Caucasian girl, maybe like, I don't know, you can make whatever. I try to make very diverse sims, I try, but my most typical sim would probably have this skin tone. And then I do use the presets. I use this one quite a lot, and I get a lot of comments saying, why are your sims like so curvy or thick or whatever, but honestly I like it. Like, why does everyone have to be super slim? So I often go with this, or I give her a little bit bigger thighs, and yeah, that's a pretty basic sim for what I would do. I almost always do pretty narrow shoulders. Like, I never have a girl sim that has this wide shoulders. I don't know why. Of course you can have them and it's fine, but for me, if you're trying to make a sim that looks like my sims, you're gonna want to pull these in, probably not all the way, but you know, pretty close to as narrow as they can be. And then we're gonna move on to the head, and I guess I'll just explain kind of what I'm doing. Take off the hair. It is totally in the way. You can't see what you're doing. And usually the first thing I do is just grab the entire head and make it bigger. As you guys know, I give my Sims like really massive heads. I don't know why. Like, to me, if they're like narrow like this, it looks weird. I like it when they're big. And I don't go like super long usually. This is way too long. So my typical head would be something like that, and then her neck is looking a little bit wide, so I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. So there you go. I mean, next thing I usually go for is the eyebrows, because sometimes the Sims spawn in with eyebrows that look like this and it's just really distracting to me, so I just go immediately to the eyebrows. I'm gonna link a set of 3 eyebrows down below, which are my favorite Maxis Match eyebrows. I love them so much. They are these ones, and these ones. These ones being my favorites. They're super Maxis Match, but I love like the arch on these. Like, I always give an arch to my Sims eyebrows, and I love that they're like, I don't know how to say it, but as you can see, like, they're not as thick all the way, and they start out like very realistically you would have your brows. So these already went pretty good. I feel like I often keep the brows quite low down and just something like that. And then if the curve is a little bit off, you go into the detail mode and grab right here and you can change it. And I just go for like a nice arch. I don't want the eyebrows to make the sim look like angry or surprised or something like that. Sometimes for specific sims, yeah, I might do like try to make them look a little bit more evil or something by doing something like that. But usually I like to keep it pretty simple, and that is like a very typical eyebrow for my sims. Then I go ahead and I pick all the presets, and once I'm happy with the presets, I will go in and totally change them up in first this mode and then in the detail edit mode. So I would pick eyes, a nose, and mouth, and then I might change the chin. I don't always change the chin, like the chin is pretty simple. It can be whatever, and then I just make it look my way. These are all the eyes. I don't have the more presets mod, which is available. It adds so many more presets. I haven't even tried it, but I'm okay with these eyes. I actually try to use like a lot of these. I like these eyes that have like the really big eyelid. I do like these. I use these sometimes, but then I also go for something like this where it's not as big, and these ones have the shadow, which I don't always like. I think it's from the lashes, because there's another thing. Here's another must-have mod. No EA lashes mod will be linked down below in this video. I cannot play without this mod. As you can see, this eye would have this massive, weird EA lash. Like, it's just a black lash. Like, it's not individual lashes. It's like a huge thing. And I just think it looks weird, and I use lashes as custom content, so they don't go well together. So I have a mod that removes the lash, as you can see. It might be why there is the shadow, but honestly, you can work around that. So definitely recommend that mod if you want your sims looking similar to mine. And there you go. You have so many different presets that don't have the lashes, so that is a total must-have. So yeah, typical eyes I would go for. Definitely all of these up here, I use these all the time. Then I would go for something like this. And I think down here, we also have some different ones. I don't know, it's just so hard because I do use a lot of these. Like, I think I used this like just the other day in a creative sim, because I do change them a lot and they end up looking quite similar, so it doesn't really matter. I guess the biggest thing that matters is whether you want to have like a big eyelid, like something like this, or you want to have a smaller one, something like this. But today, I guess today we'll just go for something very typical. I don't actually know if this means it's a bigger eyelid or if it just means that you're like the crease of your eyelid is higher up. I don't know, but you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say. Let's just go for something like this today. I do use this all the time and I think it's totally fine. And then you could pick the eye color right now, or you can definitely change it later. I have default eyes installed, which will be linked down below. These are the meteor eyes, so they just change the default eye of the sim. These are very Max's Match. I like these a lot, but I do use other contacts as well. I will show you one other pair, but honestly, I use most of these. Like, it doesn't matter. Go for whatever you think suits your sim. We'll go for this grayish blue color today, and I guess we'll just pick all the presets first, since that is how I create sims, and that's what I'm trying to show you guys today. So the noses that I always go for from these presets, there aren't that many, are this one. This one, as you can see, these two are very, very similar. And then I love these two here. They're super cute. So this one and this one. Once I put a skin overlay on, it kind of hides the lines here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's why my noses end up looking so similar, because of the skin overlays. But I think this one is one of my favorites. Same with this one. I don't know, maybe we'll go for this one today. It's a little bit more defined. And then for the lips, I try to use different ones, so not all my sims have the same lips. I like these two up here that don't have a defined is it called Cupid's bow or something? I forget. And then sometimes I go for smaller lips as well, but my favorite lips are either these ones here or these ones here. As you can see, very, very similar. Actually, what even changes? Is it from the side? What the heck? Like, as you can see, like the shadows change around her mouth. I didn't even realize they were the same lip. That is so crazy. But yeah, I do use most of these, so I guess we'll go over this one today, since this is something I would often pick. And then you can change the chin if, like, for example, you don't want this chin dimple, whatever it's called. I don't remember, but I'll just pick whatever, something like that. Doesn't matter. We're gonna change it in a little bit. And that's all the presets that I choose. I don't ever choose cheek presets. I just do them myself. I don't know if I should. I just feel like they don't make that big of a difference. Although looking at them now, how many is this? There's 36 presets. I never change these. I feel like you can change these so easily by just pulling on your sim that I don't touch these. Same with the jaw. I never use the jaw presets, so I guess we're not going to touch those today. Alright, so a very typical thing for my sims is to have a pretty big jaw. And this is really easy to do from the detail edit mode, but I find it really hard to make sims who have a jaw that like comes in a lot, which totally people do. I probably have that, but I just give my sims pretty big jaws. So I would do something like this and then go into detail edit mode, which I guess we can do right now. We'll just change up the jaw. So you can change the jaw by clicking here and dragging, which is like something like this. Like I do this all the time. You can go up and down and then you can go like in and out. And I give my sims quite a defined jawline. I don't know why, like definitely, like especially guys, they're gonna have like very defined jaws. But I would go for something like this, and then if you actually click on where the cheeks are, this also changes the jaw a lot because you can go up and down here and it makes a huge difference. So I don't know, like maybe something like that, and then I'm gonna come back out and make it a little bit bigger. Like I just have big jaws for my sim. I don't know, now that I'm making this video, I'm like, oh my god, what do I usually do? Because usually when I do this, I don't think, I just push and pull and we get a sim that looks like all my other sims. But now that I'm trying to think about it, I'm joking, but yeah, something like that is a very typical jaw. And then I also grab the cheekbone, so they are right here. You can go in and out and you can go up and down. I would say usually I have them quite far in and then not all the way up. I mean, somewhere around here. If I have like a little bit of a bigger chin, bigger sim, then I would pull them out a little bit more. But for this sim, I would put them around there. And then for the actual cheeks, I never ever put them all the way in. Like you will almost never see a sim like that from me. It makes the sim's face look a little bit wonky from the side in my opinion. So I never push them all the way in. And you can also put these up and down to, as you can see, definitely changes your jawline. It gives you like cute chubbier cheeks. So I would just do something like that. That's probably what we had when we started, but it was pretty good. I take it back. I want her to have bigger bigger cheeks. I think that's pretty good. Let's just do the lips and the nose. So for the nose, one of the things I always do is I pull the nose pretty much as far down as it goes. Like this is just something I do. It's a habit. Like I will never have a sim that nose is up here, which could be, but for some reason I pull it really far down. And I don't make it like teeny tiny either. Like I feel like my sims have like reasonably big noses. And then if we go into detail edit mode, I always make this like tip of your nose, I don't know what this part is called, I make it bigger. So you just grab it and you make it bigger. This is just typical. And then I might change the nostrils a little bit closer just so this part is bigger. I think it's really cute like that. And then you can actually grab the nostrils, which makes a huge difference because you can pull these all the way up. And I feel like her nose looks totally different now. You can pull them in, out, like, you know, you can do a lot with these. And it might not seem like a big change, but honestly, I feel like it does change your sim's nose a lot. And then I go for like a medium wide nose, and I always make this part up here, like the, what is this called? This is like the bridge of your nose. What is this? I don't know. But I make this part a little bit bigger, and then from the side, I tend to go for really straight noses, maybe because I wish I had a straight nose, because I don't. So you can grab this, you can go up and down, but yeah, I would have something like it already was. And then this part here, right between your eyes, this part I feel like is quite important. You don't want to have it out like this. It's just, that's not what I would do. So I would have it pretty far in, something like that. I just feel like it looks more realistic, and that's pretty much a very typical nose for me. Maybe bigger nostrils, there you go. And then for the lips, again, this is just pushing and pulling, but here you go if you want to know. I usually pull these down, the like, what are these, like the creases of your mouth? I don't know, but you can either make your sim look like she's smiling or like she's really grumpy, but I would pull them pretty straight. So I think something like that. So the line is pretty straight all across, and I like to go for big clips on my sims. I just think big clips look really good, and yeah, so I just make them real big all around, pretty much as big as they go, something like that. Like that is pretty much how all my sims mouths look. And if it's looking a bit too big, you can grab it from this mode and then make it a bit smaller, a bit bigger. And I always have it pretty high up as well, like pretty close to the nose. Okay, I feel like we went a bit overboard, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller. There we go. I feel like it's a bit more proportionate for her face. And there we go. And then for the chin, I often go for quite pointy chin, so you can go for like a wide flat chin like this, or you can go for like a more of a pointy one. I do pointy almost always. It's a habit. Again, I'm trying to break out of these things. I'm trying to create different looking sims. I'm often looking at like pictures of real people, so I would get different looking sims, but if we're talking typical sim, that's what I would do. And then important thing is you can grab here and you can pull this up and down, and I always pull it up. Like I will never have a chin like this. I don't know why. Again, a habit. If you want your sims looking like mine, pull this part up so you can see like this part here. I don't know what you would call that. It rises and it makes it look just, I don't know. I just prefer it that way. And that's a pretty small chin, but that honestly is kind of what I do. I think at this point, before we do the eyes, I would put on the skin overlay, because the skin overlay does hide some of the features on your face, and you want to put it on early now so you can end up seeing what your sim, you can see what your sim will end up looking like. So my favorite skin of all time is this one here, Ooh Smooth version 2 or Oh Smooth, I don't know. This will be in the description. It always is there, but as you can see, it smooths out her features. It just gives it like a very smooth face. You can't see as much of the like cheekbones, and I think the nose as well a little bit. Like this is what I mean. It hides a little bit of the definition, and it makes your lips look so much cuter and like a little bit more realistic. Not that I like realistic CC, I don't. I like Max's Match, but this is my favorite skin overlay. And then I like to layer this one because I actually can layer it with any of my other ones. I will be doing a skin details collection video very soon, so look out for that one. I will be linking pretty much everything that I have so you guys can make super cute sims. But today I will share two skins. First one is this, and second one is this Bright Blends one that I very often use. So boom, that's what it looks like. Not a big difference, but again, a super smooth face for your sim. It adds a little bit to the mouth crease. I just think it's super cute. This one has two versions. The first one looks like this and second one looks like this. This one I think is 50%, so it's not as strong. I have used both and I think they're both super cute. And then these two back here are for guys. So there we go. This sim is looking so much like any of my other sims already, but let's tackle the eyes next. I tend to go for either quite straight eyes or then like the inner corner pointing down a little bit. And then the most important thing to me is the placement of your eyes, because you can lift these up. And now this sim looks nothing like any of my sims because this is not where I place the eyes, or you can bring them really far down, which again, I rarely do. Sometimes I go for a smaller face, but for me, I like to keep them, I don't know anymore, around there. And then obviously whether you have them really close to the nose or really far apart also makes a massive difference. So I wouldn't have either of these. I would have them around here in the middle. I feel like they're a little bit far apart. I feel like that's kind of my style, but that's pretty much where I would put my Sims eyes. And then jumping into detail edit mode, I always edit the eyes. I always do this. So a typical thing for me to do is grab the lower eyelid and just bring it up a little bit. I never leave it this far down. I like to bring it up a little bit and then also bring up the upper eyelid, whatever it's called. So you can move this to the right or to the left, and you can move it up and down. So typical eye would be something like that. And then you can grab the outer corner of your eye and you can bring this up or down. Now I do both of these. I have a lot of Sims that have eyes like this, but I feel like most typically I would have it going up a little bit. You can also bring it in or out, so you can have really, really wide eyes or smaller eyes. But I feel like something like that is quite typical. And then you can also grab the inner part right here and just lift that or put it down if you want. And after I've done this, I might just change the rotation of the eyes to make them look a little bit more how I would like them. I think that's quite a typical eye for me to do. You can also change the size of your... Ooh, what is this called? Like, this is pupil and this is iris. Is the whole thing called an iris? I don't know. But you can change the size of this. And obviously, yeah, I think I go for quite big eyes usually. Not too big though. If you go too big, it starts looking like a doll. But I think something like that is quite a typical Elliandra eye shape to go for. Obviously, you can change the size of your eyes as well by grabbing the inner corner, and you get to see this little icon next to the hand of your mouse, and you can make really big eyes, really small eyes. I tend to go quite big, even though I do like the look of smaller eyes on Sims as well, but I feel like my eyes are usually quite big. Did I change them at all? No, that's pretty much how they wear. So that's a pretty typical eye size for my Sims. And always pretty much on this height as well. So there we go. Next up, I might change my Sim's eyes if I want to give her some context. So I'm gonna be sharing one pair today. I did my CZ makeup collection video like a month ago or something, so I will be linking that down below if you want to go check it out. But that is where I linked a lot more eyes that I also use and all of my other makeup that I use for my Sims. But I've been really loving these eyes here. These are the Whisper eyes and they look like this. I prefer the darker colors. I think they look amazing, and then they have these like two-toned colors for your eyes, which I think look super pretty too. So this is something you might see me use really often. They have quite small pupils, but honestly I don't mind it, and these like darker colors are so pretty. I use these for like almost every single Sim. But let's go over these eyes today. They're kind of like a brownish green. And then next up, we're gonna put some lashes on my Sim. These are always linked down below, by the way. Every single video, these are linked down below. I still get questions. Just open the description box. So I use the Kichiko lashes that look like this. She has quite big eyes. I can tell now because the lashes are looking big, but that is what I do. So this is the version 1 and this is version 2, or I don't even know. This one just has like longer lashes. That's why I call it version 2. But then I have a third version, which is this. This is the 3D lashes by Plum Bob Juice, and they look like this. Like, just look at the difference. They are massive. I love these. I always use these. They are linked down below. And you actually need to have the Kichiko ones as a mesh. If you don't have these ones won't work because these ones are made of these ones. So that is what you need. If you leave me a comment saying the Kichiko ones don't work for me, can you link me yours? Well, I'm sorry, mine will not work either because you need the Kichiko ones for these ones. So these come in a few different variations, and these ones are just so pretty. Like, look at those ones. I always use these. I love these. So cute. Last little tweaks I would do is probably grab the eyebrows again, change them up a little bit now that we have the eyes done, and the lashes. You can actually grab the eyebrows from quite a few different places to change different parts of them, but that's a pretty typical arch for me. These are really pretty. And then don't forget the side profile of your Sim. Like, this is important. You can grab the entire face and make it go in or out, and then you can grab the chin and just bring your entire chin and mouth forward, and you can grab the brows. You can grab a lot of things. You can grab the eyes and maybe pull them in a little bit, and then yeah, the brows you can grab here. I think this is quite an important thing. I don't think you should have a super defined brow line for every Sim, so I bring that in quite a lot, and that's pretty much a super typical Sim. We haven't touched the ears. I never use the presets. I just grab them, pull them in, and break them down. I use pretty small ears usually. It's just a habit, but you can use whatever you want. I like to pull them out a little bit too. I don't like them being all the way in. I like them being something like that. So there you go. That is a very, very typical looking sim. Maybe we should give her some hair. This is the last thing that I do. And sometimes after you give your sims hair, if you have a super specific hair in mind, it might not go perfectly with your sim's face. So then you can go back and change a few more things just to kind of make your sim like look better with the hair. Like some hairs might cover your sim's eyes and you might want to like bring them in a little bit or whatever you want. So just pick an eye that you think suits your sim, and if necessary, feel free to change some of the features of your sim's face. By the way, I did a My CC hair collection video just a little while ago where I linked 50 hairs, 50 of my favorite hairs, so that will also be linked down below if you're interested in downloading some of these goodies, because I'm obsessed with Max's Match CC. But let's just give her this new hair, which I think is adorable. She looks super cute with it, and I think it actually suits her face. I don't think you need to change anything. One more thing I just realized is that I made her blonde, but I'm keeping her eyebrows brown. I don't usually go for blonde eyebrows. I myself am blonde and I like to color my eyebrows, make them a bit darker, so I often go for this one here, the like pretty basic brown, and that is like a super basic Elliandra style sim done. But yeah, there you go. That is the pretty chatty video done. Here is a super basic looking sim for me. Hopefully this helped you guys, but just download the same mods. You need the No EA Lashes mod and you need these skins, and then kind of just try to follow what I do if that is what you want to do. Obviously, create whatever looking sims you want to, but this is just for you guys who have been asking me how to create sims like I do. So hopefully this made any sense. I don't know if it did, but I'm crossing my fingers that it did. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and check the description box for a few of the must-haves that I linked for this video. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up if it was something you enjoyed and if you found it helpful. And if you are new here, consider subscribing as well. I post new Sims videos every single day. Let me know what other videos you want to see on the channel, and look out for the My Skin Details CC collection video coming out very soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye!